Hey, so do you want to come to Bali, but you're not sure of what visas are out there today? As of now, it is near the end of 2020 and Indonesia still hasn't announced when they're officially going to open their borders for visitors. But I have some good news for you wanderlusters and digital nomads. There are 2 visas to get you into Bali in 2020. And I have a little friend to be able to help us out today. This is George. Say hey. He's going to help us with the short-term visa and the long-term visa. And surprisingly, it's much easier than I expected. And first, before we get too into it, enjoy the view of a nice Abudian waterfall. Hey, I'm Whitney, and in this video, we'll do a deep dive where we'll look at both of the visas, the pros, the cons, the money, and lastly, the time for processing the visa. So first, let's take a look at time. Over the next 12 months, how long do you want to spend in Bali? This question will help sort you into the bucket of 2 teams. If you're looking at spending less than 6 months in Bali, this visa will be good for you. If you're looking for more than 6 months, we'll explore it over here as well. So, diving into the 6-month visa, here we are. You are taking a look at the single entry business visa. This is the B211A, and this is good for less than 6 months. This is most ideal for the 60-day to 6-month wanderluster or digital nomad that is looking to change up the scenery a bit. Let's break down the details of the single entry visa. So the single entry business visa, also known as the social visa, is active for 60 days once you get that stamp in your passport. And it has an available 4 extensions. Each extension is available for 30 days, and the processing time for the visa can take about 2 weeks. But with a little bit more money, the process can be expedited in just a few days. Lastly, the cost of the processing fee is around 6 to 8 million IDR. That breaks down to about 400 to 600 USD. Plus, once you're in the country, the extension fee is about $60 per month. And so if you do 4 extensions to get you to 6 months total, that would be $240. To break down the timing of this visa, we have 2 months. That's the first 60 days that you're good for with the visa. And then each extension is 1 month. So that is a total of 6 months for it to be in Indonesia. Let's stop and enjoy a little moment in the rice fields. And now moving on, the pros. It's less money up front. Next, it's really great for trips that are 6 months and under. And lastly, it has a really quick processing time. Most importantly, tied to the processing time, Indonesia just announced that the B211 visa is now available as an e-visa. So that saves you a trip to your local embassy. This is honestly a big win. Sometimes the embassies can be a little bit of a headache, but regardless, moving on to the cons. So the biggest downfall, it is just a single entry visa. So if anything comes up and you have to leave for any emergencies or a change of plans, maybe you meet some friends and they want to go to another country that just opened up right now with the different COVID restrictions, then you will have to decide if you want to be able to bite the bullet and lose that visa, or if you really want to come back to Bali and have to go through that process all over again. Regardless, that is something that you can come to a decision of really how long you want to stay in Bali and if the expenses are worth it to be able to spend it on the visa and the travel. Also, if you do want to stay longer than 6 months, you will have to leave the country. This brings us here to visa number 2. If you are planning to stay here for a bit longer than 6 months or have the flexibility to come in and out of Indonesia as you please, this visa here is called the Investor Kitas. It is also known as a limited stay permit. So let's dive in. What is the Investor Kitas? The Investor Kitas allows you to stay in Indonesia for 2 years continuously. No renewals are needed, and you have multiple entries, so you're allowed to come and go as you please. The application fee can vary depending on what agency you use, but the going rate is around 2,000 USD. It takes about 3 weeks to receive the invitation from Jakarta to enter Indonesia. This is also called the telex. It is the formal paper that turns your paper invitation into a visa. And then it's about 1 more week to receive the stamp from your local embassy in your passport. So even though KITAS is good for 2 years, they call it a limited stay permit because it's actually on the road to allow you to stay longer. After you get your 2 years as a KITAS holder, you can apply for your KITAP, which is a permanent stay permit card. That's a mouthful in itself. But don't worry about this whole process, because even if you are a KITAS holder, you don't have to turn it into a KITAP if you don't want to. But there's not really that much of a downfall. You still get to keep your native passport. This is really just an added bonus on top to allow you to come and go from Indonesia as you please. So going back to KITAS and KITAP, if you were a holder of either one of these permits, there's one really great hidden perk that not many people are talking about. If you had this and something like COVID were to hit again and the borders were to be closed, you would always be allowed to enter Indonesia because they recognize that it's kind of your home. Okay, let's dive in. The pros. There is a bundle here. So first, you can get an Indonesian bank account. This helps save on the ATM fees for yummy smoothies and Bali treats. Number 2, you can get an Indonesia driver's license. Number 3, certain local places offer a KITAS or KITAP discount. Think 20% off at some yoga studios, like the Yoga Barn in Ubud. You can also get negotiating power for long-term housing rentals and scooter rentals. We gotta save money down the road. Number 4, there's no need to worry about your visa or immigration for 2 years, and you can travel in and out as you please. And lastly, as mentioned above, this visa gets you on the road for your permanent stay card. So the visa doesn't just expire and go away. Instead, you can potentially work on being a KITAS holder to be able to be a KITAP holder and have a permanent stay card. Next, the cons. Okay, the application fee can seem a little bit steep to be able to front that money up front. It's around $2,000 US. Because also remember, once you get this visa, it is a set it and forget it, and you won't have to worry about it. Another con is some of the immigration has been a little bit delayed. So if time is an issue for you and this 3 weeks could turn into 4 weeks of approval process, then that might be something that you take into account for. But like I said, it is a longer term position. So if you are looking really to get back in, get situated, and really create a community and a home in Indonesia, then this visa might be the best thing for you. Okay, let's do a brief cost comparison. And before we get too far into the numbers, I know that numbers, travel, dates can all seem like a little much. So just take a breath, slow down. And one thing that I like is to remind myself, related to Bali, the cost of living is quite affordable. So while you might have to front a little bit of money up front for the visa and travel, you'll probably end up finding some extra money in your savings account at the end of each month compared to where you are living right now. Okay, let's dive in. First, the single entry B211 visa. This one is about $400 for the Bali agency fee to sponsor you. And then you don't have to worry about the $50 fee anymore because it's now an e-visa. But lastly, you will still have to be able to cover the fee regarding an extension each month after the first 2 months. And you're allowed to extend up to 4 times. So $60 times 4, that is $240. So to add it all up, the B211 visa will be a total of $640 US. Once again, this varies on the Bali agency that you go through. So if you get one that's cheaper, congratulations, you got to save a little bit. This works out to about $115 per month, considering that your visa is good for 6 months. I hope you picked up on my math there. Because we're about to do it all over again with the investor KITAS. Here, we are looking at about $2,000 to $2,200 for the Bali agency to sponsor you. And then it's about $160 for you to process your application fee at your local embassy. So that is a grand total of $2,160 US for 24 months. That is about $90 per month. So overall, even though you have to front the money, it is quite a good deal. So to wrap it all up, there are 2 visas. The first one is the single entry 6-month social visa, and the second is the 2-year investor Kitas visa. Both are great options to get you into Bali. If you want more information on the specifics on each visa process, feel free to comment below, give me a like, subscribe, or shoot me a message on WhatsApp. My information is also below. I know the itch of trying to get back into Bali. I've been a holder of 4 different Indonesian visas, worked through several different visa runs with different embassies, and I wanted to be able to share some of my experience and help you so that you can get back into Bali or Indonesia, set up home, and really start to thrive in this turbulent time. So, like I said, feel free to shoot me any messages. I am more than happy to help. And I hope to see you in Bali soon too. So, this is Whitney signing out. See you soon.